Miss Martian wakes up in the sandy desert of Bialya, not remembering how she came to Earth or what she's wearing. Still figuring it out, Superboy appears out of nowhere, clearly driven by rage. Miss Martian recognizes the symbol on his shirt and asks if he is Superman. Unresponsive, Superboy rips off his shirt and charges at her, but Miss Martian uses her powers to block him. Deflected, Superboy leaps into the desert, and Miss Martian claims this is a nightmare. Later, she is thrilled to be on Earth but worries that she has no recollection of how she got there. She tries to focus on remembering, recovers bits and pieces of her memories, and discovers she is part of a team. Realizing that she belongs to a team, she quickly uses her telepathy to reach anyone, but when no one responds, she suspects she must be out of range. Robin also wakes up in the desert when he notices armed soldiers heading his way. He is able to elude them but wonders how he came to Bialya. He starts to panic when he discovers that he has lost time, seeing that it's September and all he remembers is March. He wants to contact Batman, but he remembers telling him to keep radio silence at all times. When he searches the area, he finds Superboy's torn up shirt. In a remote cabin, Kid Flash wakes Artemis, who is startled as soon as she wakes up. He quickly introduces himself, but Artemis claims that she doesn't recall Kid Flash wearing black, which he is unsure of why as well. Kid Flash asks her who she is and wonders if she has a fixation on Green Arrow, given her outfit, but Artemis is just as surprised by what she's wearing. When he asks if she knows how to use the bow, Artemis claims that her father taught her and suspects that this must be her father's doing as one of his stupid tests. When he asks what kind of test it was, Artemis suspects that his father probably wanted her to kill him. When they hear a dropping whistle, Kid Flash pulls Artemis outside before a missile destroys the cabin. They immediately notice armed Bialyan soldiers headed for them, so they quickly flee to safety. The enemy started shooting at them, so Artemis shot back and destroyed a Humvee. When tanks start firing, Kid Flash carries Artemis and starts running. When Kid Flash starts to run out of energy, he quickly stops to recharge. Given his empty cupboards, he suspects they must be in the desert for more than a day. Out of nowhere, a rampaging Superboy shows up and knocks out Kid Flash against the wall. Artemis tries shooting a barrage of explosive arrows at him, but it is ineffective. Suddenly, the army catches up to them and fires a missile at Superboy. Miss Martian picked up the distress signal and quickly flew in their direction. Superboy stands back up and rips the tank apart with his super strength. They fired their weapons at him, but he proved to be bulletproof. When he had his back turned, a tank fires at Superboy at point-blank range. Superboy picks himself back up and destroys the other tank. Artemis wonders whose side Superboy is on, to which Kid Flash suggests fleeing while Superboy is busy. Kid Flash stumbles on a rock and they come rolling on the sand when enemy fighter planes catch up and start shooting at them. When Artemis was aiming at the enemy, she suddenly heard Miss Martian's voice, which distracted her, and she missed. Miss Martian arrives and destroys the enemy planes with telekinesis. Kid Flash recognizes her outfit as familiar with the Martian Manhunter, who Miss Martian claims is her uncle. When Miss Martian recognizes their names, she explains they are teammates, but Kid Flash and Artemis claim they have no memory of being in one. With the enemy fleeing, Miss Martian claims they need to hurry, as Robin and Superboy need their help. Superboy gets captured, and several soldiers hold him in place. Worried that they'd fail to restrain him, a soldier informs a hooded man, later revealed to be Simon, to control his mind. Simon claims that he isn't sure if there is much mind for him even to control. Despite his uncertainty, he managed to knock out Superboy, to which the soldiers dragged him away. Nearby, Aqualad is revealed to be unconscious still. Robin later follows a GPS marker in the middle of nowhere when he finally comes across a device in the desert. He checked the area for any suspicious activity. When he thought it was clear, he quickly approached it, but armed soldiers hiding under the sand emerged and had him at gunpoint. The leader orders his men to take him out as their majesty wants him alive. When they lunge at him, Robin uses smoke grenades and takes them out one by one. Despite being outnumbered, Robin uses his quick reflexes to take them out. Kid Flash arrives and disarms the enemy when they start shooting at him. They took out the rest of the soldiers with the help of Miss Martian and Artemis. With the enemy contained, Robin and the others try to figure out their situation. Robin seems to remember Kid Flash, but nothing after it. Miss Martian explained that they were part of a team that included Superboy. Artemis explains that they have encountered him, but Kid Flash wonders if he is part of the team, having been assaulted by him. Artemis claims that he must not remember who they are, as they too have lost their memories. Robin claims that he remembers Batman telling him to keep the radio silent and suspects that they must work for him. Worried that they can't work as a team as it is, Miss Martian uses her powers to help them piece together their memories, sharing what she has remembered so far. They brought them to her mind, claiming that the broken memories could form into a whole if they opened their minds to her. Artemis objects, worried that Miss Martian would pry into their memories, but Robin understands the situation and agrees, and so does Kid Flash. Artemis agrees under the condition Miss Martian only pulls up the last 6 months and only what she needs. With Miss Martian's powers, they recall Batman informing them that the Watchtower detected an immense power surge in the Bialyan Desert. The spectral analysis revealed elements of non-terrestrial origin. He then sent the team to check the area and find what had landed there. He also informs them that Bialya is a rogue state ruled by Queen Bee, which is not a member of the League's UN Charter. All communications are subject to interception, and orders them to maintain radio silence at all times. Batman explains that they will land in Korak on the Bialya's border, 2 clicks from the hot zone. They remember sneaking into a campsite and discovering the Bialyans had made camp near it. Superboy carries a large device, which Robin quickly operates and declares they'll be up and running in no time. Kid Flash claims that the site is brimming with zeta beam radiation, which would explain the non-terrestrial trace elements they picked up from the tent. Miss Martian suggests checking it out in camouflage, to which Aqualad agrees and reminds her to remain in telepathic contact the entire time. They suddenly remember Aqualad and worry that they have yet to find him. Kid Flash claims they have been stranded in the desert long enough, which is unsuitable for someone with gills. Robin claims that now he knows what to look for, he can track down Aqualad. Although they quickly found him, Aqualad seemed delirious, which Robin suspects must be because of the dehydration. He claims they need to call the bioship for an immediate rehydration. Miss Martian claims it's out of range and suggests getting Kid Flash to get him there fast. Kid Flash explains that he's too heavy and low on fuel. Artemis suggests she levitate him back to the ship, but Miss Martian claims she needs to find Superboy. She explains that Superboy didn't exist 6 months ago and has no memories, just animal impulses. She claims that only she can help him, but Kid Flash explains that Superboy is indestructible and that Aqualad needs her help more. Suddenly, Miss Martian feels Superboy's pain and flies away. Robin shouts that they still don't know what erased their memories, and that it could happen again. Miss Martian makes it into camp in camouflage and finds Superboy being tortured by scientists. She quickly pushes them aside and stops the device. Simon finds Miss Martian and compels her to forget. When Simon uses his powers on her, it triggers her memories of when she first checked the Bialyan camp. She discovers a device that she claims is used to put someone in pain. When she tries reaching out, Simon discovers her and claims that an open mind is dangerous. Miss Martian claims that someone has hacked into their link. Simon explains that although he can't see or catch them, he can make them forget, which is how they lose their memories. Miss Martian claims she won't let it happen again, but Simon appears in her mindscape and blasts her away. She tries to fight back, but Simon claims that although she has potential, she is too raw, untrained, and not in his league. While Simon is in Miss Martian's mindscape, Superboy regains consciousness and finds things floating around. Although unsure of things, he feels strongly against Simon and attacks him when he breaks free from his restraints. Simon blocks him off with a powerful invisible barrier when he jumps at him. Pushed back, Superboy accidentally arrives in Miss Martian's mindscape, to her relief. Simon laughs and wonders if she expected the mindless Superboy to save her. Miss Martian claims that he isn't going to save her, but that she will save him. She then pulls his head to hers and returns all his memories. Superboy returns to his body, but not before telling Miss Martian to beat Simon at his own game. Suddenly, soldiers come storming into the tent, and the sphere knocks them out of the way, surprising Superboy. At the same time, Superboy handles the soldiers. Suddenly, a psychic tornado whirls around Miss Martian and Simon, who are still battling in the mindscape. Superboy reaches out and returns to the mindscape, where he finds Miss Martian struggling with Simon. She explains that he's too strong for her, but Superboy claims that she is strong and that he is stubborn. Together, they join forces to expel Simon from her mind, and he gets caught in the tornado. After the tornado blows everything away, Superboy catches Miss Martian in his arms when she feels weak in her knees. The sphere interrupts them when they are about to kiss, and Superboy asks if he can keep it. Meanwhile, the rest of the team carries Aqualad back to the ship when armed soldiers patrol the area. Robin claims that they can't risk a firefight with Aqualad unconscious. Kid Flash also explains that he is out of fuel, while Artemis runs out of arrows. Suddenly, Robin briefly disappears and returns once Kid Flash and Artemis start arguing. When Kid Flash asks where he went, Robin plants some bombs that lure the soldiers before they explode. They manage to bring Aqualad back to the ship, where he is being nursed back to health. Miss Martian contacts the team and explains that she's found Superboy and is returning. Aqualad wakes up still delirious, so Artemis asks her to fix his memories. Later, Simon reports to his mysterious masters and explains that Miss Martian and Superboy escaped with the sphere. His masters explained that it didn't matter and that the test of their new partner's delivery system was successful. His master claims that more tech will come that will put Superboy or the sphere to shame, to which Simon grins. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.